What the weirdest thing you did while you were high? For more infotainment, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates. Thanks for watching. One time my eye was really dry, so I stopped drinking my water and started slowly pouring water into my eye, all of it while I was sitting on my friend's bed, leaving just a bit so I could still have one gulp. Once, while partaking with my friends, we all started talking about the cotton mouth we were all experiencing, and one guy related it to getting red eyes while high. He then said, "I wish there were something like eye drops but for your mouth for when you have cotton mouth." Then another immediately replied, They do, it's called water." Went to let the dog out and I walked out instead and left my dog inside. A few weeks ago I let my dog out, then promptly shut him in the garage and forgot to go inside with him. Went to the backyard door instead, went inside and went to bed. For over an hour I was tossing and turning, something just felt off. Bolt up in bed and realize I forgot my deer, bear, stray cat, and livestock chasing sighthound outside in the middle of my rural farm town. I run outside half screaming for my dog, thinking he's gonna get shot by an angry farmer or get eaten in a bear fight. After 15 minutes nearly crying, give up and go into the garage to find my sweet boy politely wagging his tail, lol. One time years ago I was camping at a campground with my wife and a few friends. We're all sitting around the fire drinking. Her brother and I go for a walk to smoke some joints. We finish that and I have to piss, so he goes back to the group, and when I'm done I head back as well. So I get back and I'm pretty baked at this point, and I'm just standing there watching the fire and drinking my beer for a few minutes. I then noticed a particular Coleman lantern on the picnic table and thought to myself, I don't remember us having one of those here. It was at that point that I realized I was standing at the wrong damned campsite, amongst a bunch of people I have never met, while my group was watching from the next site over, laughing and wondering WTF I was doing. Went to White Castle to get food for everyone after we smoked. We all had the same order, 2 double cheese sliders and an order or mozzarella sticks. When I gave her my order I didn't just say that I wanted 8 double cheese sliders in total, I repeated the 2 double cheese sliders and mozzarella sticks 4 times. By the time I got to the end of my order the cashier sounded so defeated. I still cringe thinking back to that moment, but it's also one of my funniest smoke stories. I'll have a number 9, 2 number 9s, a number 9. It's not that weird, but I get really weird sensations when I'm high. Other people probably get it too, but I just don't know how to describe it. But one time I was just rubbing my leg a little because I was cold, and my friend was sitting next to me. So then I was like, well, I can feel my hand and I can feel my leg, I wonder if I can feel hers? So I rubbed her leg and was like, wow. I can't feel it, and I didn't really understand why. My friend just laughed at how stupid I was, LMAO. The first time I tried weed I couldn't stop licking my lips, BC they were tingly. The first time I did mushrooms I was obsessing over every touch, BC there were 3 layers to it, the layer where my hand could feel it, the layer where my body could feel it, and the layer where I was seeing it. And the first time I did acid I spent a solid hour or more making biscuits with my feet and the blanket on the couch that they were wrapped in. The weed/lips thing has gone away now that I smoke regularly, but I haven't done mushrooms or acid a second time yet. Hopefully soon on the acid, but the mushrooms I could wait a bit longer on, they weren't as good. I love/hate how time just kinda breaks. Back in high school I was at a buddy's with several friends and I was sitting at the table alone just thinking my thoughts. I'd been talking with friends but they went to the next room and were sitting on the couch. One of them goes, "It's only been 15 minutes. We've been sitting here for at least an hour." And I piped up, 15 minutes? You guys were just sitting here 2 minutes ago. Good ol' weed. Back in college, I got super baked with friends. Like almost non-verbal, tunnel vision stoned. We went to this donut place near campus, Ken's Donuts if anyone is familiar with the UT Austin area. I was staring at the counter full of donuts. I felt like I was standing there for like a minute quietly humming and thinking. Apparently, it was closer to 4 minutes and I was loudly humming the theme song to Jurassic Park over and over again. For some reason we were listening to it on the drive over and I couldn't stop thinking about it. I laughed my off multiple times while eating the donuts after the whole standing/humming like a moron thing I was doing. The first time I smoked keef was my 21st birthday after already drinking way too much. The fade was so intense that I couldn't walk. My friends put me in my bed but for some reason I felt the need to not be in my room. So with my non-functioning legs, I crawled on my elbows down the hall and down a staircase to an empty bedroom where I laid on the floor in the dark for 30 minutes. Then I got uncomfortable laying on the ground, so I miraculously regained control of my legs and managed to remove the door to the bedroom to lay on. Pretty solid mattress if you like yours firm. This one time I was coming up morning of day 2 Coachella and had just gotten to the bank of lockers where our group's stuff was stored. I was reaching for the locker but just couldn't get to it and the key wouldn't go in. My friend walks up to me, grabs the key out of my hand and I swear in one step traverses the distance of a football field and unlocks the door. Turns out the hit had just hit me like a freight train and I was on my hands and knees in the grass about 6 feet from the locker with my arm outstretched trying to insert the key. Depth perception, man. That was a great day. I was living on my own in an apartment for the first time, and one of my first investments was a sheet, 100 doses, of acid. I was gobbling them up at an insane rate. Tolerance builds pretty quickly to acid, so by this point I wasn't seeing acid Y things anymore, but I was thinking acid Y thoughts. Like for instance, I wasn't taking trash out because I thought my building would see me hauling out a bunch of trash bags and think, that dude's got a lot of trash. He's a dirty dude. And that then they'd either kick me out or call the police on me, so I opted instead to let the trash pile up around me. I also thought I was going to be a writer for The Simpsons. Anyway, it all came to a head about 2 months into my heavy acid use. In about 8 weeks I had eaten about 80 tabs of acid. I was feeling pretty fried, and I was trying to make myself some pancakes. I had this plate that was covered in pancake batter and I thought, man, I gave up, and threw the batter-covered plate into the dishwasher and turned it on. I heard, click click gurgle gurgle gurgle. I walk over to check, and find that I've broken the absolute out of my dishwasher, and now there's black water pooling up at the bottom of it. The new paranoid thought was that my building would charge me to replace the dishwasher. I was freaked out, until I had a master stroke of genius. What if, I thought, I just throw away all my dishes? What? Asked the last rational part of my brain, to which acid brain responded, hear me out, here's the plan. Step 1, we throw away the dishes. Then, when the apartment building asks, did you break your dishwasher? I can get real indignant and say, what? Break my dishwasher? You fools! I don't even own dishes. And then I threw away all my dishes. That was several years ago, and I still haven't replaced all of them. Edit. I wish it occurred to me yesterday to use this to plug my stand-up comedy, but for anyone that thought this was funny, you can watch me do stand-up here. Sub-edit. I've officially done the filthy business of going through each comment telling me this was funny, and one guy who said it wasn't funny, and plugging my stand-up. Sorry about that. Thank you to everyone who read this. Standing by the sink, weeping as I tore into the most juicy and delicious whole ripe mango. In my mind I thought it was some sort of alien creature and it was giving its life in exchange for my pleasure. I thought it was the most beautiful, selfless act anything had ever done for me and was overcome by emotion. I must have looked like a goddamn weirdo, but it was still a beautiful moment. Edit. I remember a roommate coming into the kitchen and asking what was wrong because I was crying and whispering thank you to the fruit.